Say
You
hello.
good?
No. We're focusing. Focusing on your face. I mean, ABC it, girl.
Okay. ABC. Hey, I'm Haley. I'm an alcoholic. I was born in 1992 in Marietta, Georgia. I had a seemingly abnormal childhood. I dealt with a lot of trauma. I dealt with a lot of trauma that I'm not sure if it was real or delusion or what it was. But when I was 4 or 5 years, my parents got divorced when I was 3. On account of my father not being emotionally interested in being my father. My mom was my world, right? My mom worshipped me. My dad wanted nothing to do with me. Around 5 years old, I started telling people that my father had sexually molested me. Still to this day, I have no idea the truth behind it. What I do know is that I was quickly thrown into DFACS after making these accusations and dealt with that system for a while until I finally told them that nothing had happened. I went back home, but when I went back home, I ended up being with my grandmother and stayed in a camper. I stayed in a camper in Juliet, Georgia. And Juliet, Georgia is this like really hip, like we have 2 stoplights, if that, 1 gas station. We hunted every day. I was a real southern chick at this point in my life. Um, I came back to Marietta, and it was after I had gotten sick. I got very ill, and no one could figure out what was wrong with me, so I ended up being hospitalized for a little over a year. I cannot tell you the name of the diagnosis, but basically what my body did was it didn't break down the right amount of oxygen. Like I couldn't breathe the regular oxygen that we all breathe. I had to have some type of purified oxygen. So I was hospitalized in an oxygen tent at 7 years old. Um, Emotionally, I went bankrupt. Emotionally, I had nothing to live for because they actually ordered a bubble for me, and I was supposed to live my life being a bubble girl. Uh, for some reason, and no one still can attest as to why, but a week before my bubble was supposed to come in, I got better. When I left the hospital, I had told my mom that I had a resolution, right? Like I knew what I was supposed to do. I wanted to live life with everything that I could, and even in my 8-year-old mind, to live life was to get high. Because my words were, "Mom, I'm going to try every drug at least twice. First time I try it, I'll only do a small amount to see how my body responds. The next time, I'm gonna go all out. I'm gonna have fun with it." And that was my plan. And I almost succeeded. Uh, at 8 years old, I started smoking weed with my grandma, and that escalated pretty quickly. By 10, I smoked meth for the first time, and it was just this like higher up game constantly. And then I started doing Adderall and doing the cocaine, and I got into middle school and was bullied a lot in 6th grade. People made fun of me all the time. So I started doing a lot of drugs by myself, and this whole time I was kind of by myself in it. But then I lost a lot of weight, and drugs became cool, so I became cool. I got in with a crowd of dudes. They were these large Hispanic tattooed gangbangers in middle school. It didn't make a lot of sense, but it felt right. You know, I met this guy. He was the love of my life. I ended up staying with him for 5 years, and we ran a business, right? We pushed a lot of weight. We sold a lot of cocaine. We had this whole deal going on where we would move kilos of cocaine from Tennessee to Atlanta and disperse it throughout the perimeter, I guess. Like I said, he was the love of my life. During this time, I was doing a lot of cocaine, I was smoking a lot of weed, I was doing meth every now and then, getting really, if you handed me something, I would take it and not ask what it was, just to see what happened. And my best friend, he and I went to Atlanta to do heroin for the first time. I was kind of scared. I was actually a little scared because the depiction of heroin that I always knew was like, that's for junkies. You know, that's for people that have nothing. It's this certain type of person that does this, right? So we went to Atlanta. We went to this place called The Bluff, and it was interesting for me to even step foot in this realm, right?
Hey girl,
Hi.
did you miss me? Which ones I get some to drink? This one I got.
I have no change. I have cigarettes. Do you want a cigarette?
Okay, cigarette.
It's literally all I have right now.
Cigarette.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you if you had a light.
There you go. No, you're fine. You doing alright today?
About ready to lay down on the road.
Don't do that. Don't quit before the miracle happens. It'll happen.
Honestly, for the past 3 days, we just walked our stuff. I'm sitting there walking the house Friday, Saturday, like 7 at night.
Yeah.
Asking for leftovers. And they spit on them at night and everything.
I'm so sorry.
Friday afternoon, some people had talked to my pastor and claimed that they were at a church here in Atlanta. They asked her what they're doing in the streets, and she's like, "A year and a half ago, my wife and my daughter were killed by somebody."
Fuck.
She said that, and she said it wasn't drugs and alcohol, it was depression that put me in there. She said, I found God again. And these people were like, "Oh, it's wonderful." And it's like, this is going to get itself back together. She said, "Well, God opened up a door for me." She says, "A place to stay, the lady cooks every day for the workers and they do a job." I kid you not, I'm not a crackhead. Instead of them claiming they were Christians, saying they were coming back out, they had my pastor was 17. She said I was short of a deposit to get in. I came out and get something. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Honestly, I want to give up.
Don't do it.
That's the reason I'm out here this late in hope to actually find someone that has God in their life. And I had one lady, and it really surprised me that she was like 70 something. I told her what I was doing. She said, "Well, baby, show me where ATM's at. I'll get you $20." I walked her to Doubletree. She went inside, claimed she was getting $20. About 2 minutes later, APD pulled up.
She did what?
She went inside and called the cops and told my son.
Seriously?
could eat while I sleep, I'd be the biggest joker in the world. But, you know, that's the only reason I came back out this late. I'm ready to get off the streets. This is not what my life was.
So what is it going to take? What are your options? What can you do?
Honestly, I needed $280 to get into this apartment.
Okay.
That was part of the deposit.
Yeah.
Once I raised the 280, it felt hard. Get back in line.
Right.
17 left.
All right. I have a suggestion. Right. There is, and I know you said, you know, like it's not drugs, not alcohol, none of that. That's cool. I'm a recovering heroin addict, so literally no judgment, right? And I believe you, so you might be able to like beat the system a little bit on this thing. There's this place, and it's called the Extension. And nah, really.
My pastor tried to set me up for me. Like I said, honestly, I'm not going to blow that. I know people don't carry cash anymore. They put their phone to it. But I'm not. You guys find me those things. Just going in the bathroom here and there. The double free, even in front of the Ferris wheel. And all these places have that. Seriously. I'm ready to get to work, so I can come back out. Get to water, get to water.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can get that real spine and those people in my family.
I might have a little bit of cash, okay, and it's not going to be a lot, right? I know that because I'm a server, so I have a little bit of cash, and I can give that to you. I wish that I could give you literally everything that I have.
Honestly, if I could get y'all to find me a house, if I could get the 17, I could do this place. That's all it's going to take to raise the 17.
Let me see what I got.
What do you need to wear? Or were you touch it? Good idea. Oh, there's my phone too.
I really had that which on his ass. I was sitting down by walking.